I hope you can hear me. It's usually a little tough to hear people through their masks, but the masks are back in the national capital. I don't have to tell you why. If you live in the national capital, if you live in the NCR region, you probably woke up to smog and haze surrounding you. In the morning, the situation in the national capital was such that you probably couldn't see a building which was barely 500 meters away from you. What this means is Delhi and the NCR's November pains have begun. And this pain will remain at least for the next 15 days. Ladies and gentlemen, there's a word called apocalypse. It's upon us here in the national capital. And I'll tell you why. I'll give you different sets of data. My aim is not to confuse you. I will give you different sets of data. But for the moment, this is the data you need to know. The three of us here are actually risking our lives standing here outside in the open in Delhi and doing this program. What's the AQI like, Bhavreen?
So,
Bhavreen?
This was touching about 700 and now...
This was touching about 700 and now it's 646 because we switched it on and off. We have a low battery. So the AQI, where I'm standing right outside my office, is about 646. The machine that you're seeing in my hands is something that measures AQI. As far as this contraption is concerned, the highest level it can record is 999. Yes. And today, we did reach 999 in some places in Anand Vihar, which means in the national capital, pollution has peaked. And it's not just the national capital, it is Noida as well. It is Ghaziabad as well. It is Gurgaon as well. It is Faridabad as well. What does this mean? This essentially means that anyone in their right minds should not be outside if they live in and around Delhi. If anyone is asthmatic, it means there is absolutely no chance that they can step out without carrying their inhalers with them. I know someone in office who was just telling me that in the last 2 days, she's had to use her inhaler at least 6 to 7 times a day. Ladies and gentlemen, to say that air quality in the national capital is bad is an understatement. What is happening right now is that the capital is choking. What is happening right now, ladies and gentlemen, is that children in the national capital are choking. In fact, the High Court yesterday was stunned when it got the figures from the All India Institute of Medical Sciences that says that 1 in every 3 children suffer from some sort of breathing problem. Imagine that the lungs of little children in this city are damaged. I spoke about numbers. Data can be confusing, but anyhow, let me give it to you, and let's put that out on air for our viewers as well. Now, this is data that I've collected from 2 sources. One is a government source, and there is one source that is a private source. You can believe who you choose to believe. My job as a journalist is to give you different sets of data. The AQICN.org has told us that today in Anand Vihar, which is one of the most polluted areas in the national capital, the AQI levels actually touched 999. As I said, measuring contraptions do not go beyond that. Now, if you tell me, but that's not government data, give us government data. Then government data tells us, and this is the central government's data from the Central Pollution Control Board, it tells us that in Anand Vihar, again, we are talking about Anand Vihar, AQI levels reached 452. The scales stop at 500, ladies and gentlemen. I can't show you the haze around me, but trust me, there is haze around me. And people who are outside filming this show, my guests this evening are already telling us, how soon can we wrap this and go inside? Because the air quality inside is much better because we have air purifiers inside our buildings. Today, unfortunately, political priorities were different. A lot has happened politically. You have Mahua Moitra, who stormed out of the ethics committee meeting. She said she was ill-treated. Personal questions were asked. There was Mr. Arvind Kejriwal, who was supposed to appear before the enforcement directorate. He didn't. So there's a political bawal over that as well. Can you imagine this, ladies and gentlemen? Today, the Aam Aadmi Party did hold a press conference. But the press conference was about Mr. Arvind Kejriwal's appearance or non-appearance in front of the ED and not the air that currently surrounds the national capital. Anyhow, the Environment Minister of the national capital was asked a question on pollution levels, since in the capital, that's one thing that everyone is talking about. The response we got from him was that, well, at least Delhi has seen 200 good air days this season. That was the explanation. Listen into what he said.
अब इस देश के अंदर अगर हम दिल्ली की स्थिति को देखें तो दिल्ली में 200 से ज्यादा अच्छे दिन इस साल के एयर क्वालिटी में रहे हैं। जहां तक ये 15 दिनों का सवाल है, इस 15 दिनों में जिस तरह का मौसम की स्थिति है, जो एक्सपर्ट्स की ओपिनियन है कि ये थोड़े क्रिटिकल हैं और हमारी कोशिश ये है कि कैसे इस समय भी ज्यादा से ज्यादा जो सोर्सेज हैं, क्योंकि मौसम तो हमारे हाथ में नहीं है, लेकिन उन सोर्सेज को कैसे रिड्यूस किया जाए उसको लेकर के हर तरह के जो अभियान है, जो इनिशिएटिव है, उसको सरकार ले रही है। ये हमारा निवेदन है कि पूरे सभी लोगों को मिलकर काम करना पड़ेगा, क्योंकि ये स्थिति पूरे नॉर्थ इंडिया के अंदर है। केंद्र सरकार को चुप्पी साध करके बैठने से बेहतर होगा कि उसको भी सक्रिय होना पड़ेगा, क्योंकि केंद्र सरकार, राज्य सरकारें मिल करके सामूहिक जब सक्रियता से प्रयास करेंगी तो हम उस लक्ष्य को ज्यादा हासिल कर पाएंगे।